Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to hold scissors the safe and correct way and how to cut our paper straight and into shapes. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a sheet of paper with some lines on it, and then I'm going to give you a pair of scissors. So when you look at your scissors, you're going to notice that there is a small hole and a larger hole. Okay, so the small hole, take a look at your scissors, always goes on top. Okay, and the small hole is for your thumb. All right, so put your thumb in the small hole. You always keep your thumb on top when you're cutting. All right, it's never on the bottom like that. Your thumb is always on top. Then that larger hole in the bottom, it's bigger because you put more fingers in that one. Okay, so maybe 3 fingers or 2. Okay, and you hold your scissors like that with your thumb on top. Now practice opening and closing, opening and closing. You see how my wrist and my thumb always stays on top. Practice opening and closing a few times before you attempt to cut your paper. After it feels right and you're opening and closing your scissors correctly, take your paper with your helping hand, okay? So cutting paper is a 2-hand job. This is your cutting hand, and this hand is gonna help you hold your paper and guide your paper through your scissors. So open up your scissors and put the end of where it's marked as a line, put it all the way into the back of your scissors mouth like that, okay? And then slowly cut through, okay? And then push your scissors up. So it's always going into the back of your scissors mouth. You don't want to cut on the end. You want to cut back here in the back of your scissors mouth, okay? If your scissors were an alligator, you would want to cut in the back of your scissors mouth, okay? So you go slowly, open, slowly, open. Make sure you're keeping your fingers out of the way so you don't get cut. Remember, if you cut slowly, there's less of a chance that you're going to cut yourself. But if you go really fast, there's a better chance that you'll cut yourself. So always go nice and slow and look at what you're doing. All right, and you see how my helping hand, I'm pushing my scissors through, going nice and slow on that line. Okay, there you go. All right, and so you're going to finish cutting all of those papers into straight lines. Okay, so once you have a strip like this, you're going to want to make a couple squares. Okay, so you could draw lines like this, like a line there, a line there, and a line there with a pencil or something, or you could just eyeball it, which means doing it just by looking at it. So move my scissors a little bit over like this, and I'm going to go, and then I have a square. I'm going to do it again. Okay, I'm going to come over here, move my scissors over till it's about the shape of a square. I'm going to cut it again. Now, if that's a little bit hard for you, just put your scissors down, grab a pencil, and look about how far do I need to come over to make all of these sides equal to make a square. I'd say it would end right around there. Okay, pick up my scissors again. Remember your thumb on top, your other fingers on the bottom, and then I'm going to cut along that line. Okay, so now I have 3 shapes. All right, so the first shape that we already cut is a square. All right, good job. All right, and the second one we're going to do is a triangle. Okay, so like the square, you could do it just by looking at it, or you could draw your lines. Okay, so we're going to do this one by drawing it because I think we're beginners and this will make it easier. So a triangle has 3 sides. Okay, so what you're going to do is at the top, center of your square, you're going to put a little dot like that. Okay, and then you're going to put a little dot in the bottom corner and at the bottom corner. All right, then you're going to draw a diagonal line from the corner to that top, and then you're going to do the same thing from the other side, another diagonal line going up. Okay, like that. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut along those lines. Okay, so make sure you're keeping your fingers out of the way. Go nice and slow, and you're cutting off those corners, and then you have a triangle. By doing it this way, you have the triangle that you just cut, and then you have two other triangles that you could use for your collage, right? You could use these for something else, okay? So now that we know how to do triangles, now this one is a little bit tricky. How do we get a circle from a square? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to cut off each of these corners, okay? I'm not gonna mark it with my pencil, I'm just gonna go for it. So watch how I do it. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm gonna go snip, and I'm gonna turn, I'm gonna go snip, I'm gonna keep turning it with my thumb, snip, and then give it another snip. Okay, and now you've made an octagon. All right, so an octagon has 8 sides, but now you're one step closer to having a circle. Okay, so what makes this different than a circle? A circle is curved. It doesn't have any corners at all, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to carefully give this octagon a little trim around the whole outside edge. You're going to try to get rid of all of those little corners. Okay, so you have to carefully, I like to say, give it a little haircut. So I'm going to turn my shape as I go. Instead of turning my arm like this, which is going to hurt, instead I keep my scissors straight and I'm turning the shape. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all those little corners so my circle is nice and round and doesn't have any points. Okay, and there you go. All right, so this takes a little bit of practice, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. Make sure that all of your little paper clippings go into the trash. All right, and good luck. Thanks for watching.